Hello everyone. Today I'm going to take up the lesson comprehension passage from Insights 2. So comprehension passage you all are well versed with probably. We will do a quick revision today. Comprehension passages you have been getting for your exams, getting in your school days, you have been solving it out, you have been answering questions based on the passage. So this is something students have been performing very well. So let's do a quick revision today of this outline. So the session would include defining a comprehension passage, the strategies to remember while solving the passage, the types of a comprehension passage, the tips for enhancing the skills, comprehensive skills. How do you enhance your skills? How do you find the right answers always? Levels of comprehension passages and the tasks to do. To begin with, defining a comprehension. What is comprehensions, guys? The word comprehension means the ability to understand and reiterate what you listen or what you read. So, for example, by the end of the session, when I ask you, tell me what all we did today, that would be when you speak, when you answer, that will be comprehending and answering me in few lines what all has been discussed. So that will be your comprehensive skill to catch up the entire thing and answer it in one. So it is your ability here to understand and reiterate. Reiterating, speaking it again, what I spoke in your way, in a gist format, in an abstract way, abstract form, what you have listened from me or what you have read here in the PPTs. Reading comprehension is the ability to process the text. Processing the text, understanding it, the meaning of it, and to integrate it with what reader already knows. So for example, I'm reading a passage on um, the solar system. And when I'm reading a passage on the solar system, my own knowledge on the solar system or on space definitely will be existing in my mind, and keeping it as the background, I'll be trying to understand the present passage. So what all knowledge exists will be integrated with the new knowledge which you are reading here in the comprehension. So when you are talking about a comprehensive thing at the end of the session, that can include also your existing knowledge on comprehension, writing comprehension. Not only what I taught you today or what I discussed with you today, but also your own existing knowledge you can talk about. That will also be part of comprehending it. The passage of a story, a poem, etc. can be given to read and analyze. So usually what happens in a comprehension, you are given a passage, you are given a story, you are given a poem, or you are given any other factual passage in order to be answered. Strategies to remember. Question the ideas. So whenever you are reading a passage, you have to keep questioning whatever ideas are coming across the passage. Think aloud. Use prior knowledge, your existing knowledge. Infer ideas, getting the meaning proper, what the person is trying to tell you. Visualize, keep imagining, right way. Determining what is important now. So when you are reading a passage, try determining the important points or mark it in some way in your mind or on the passage itself. Synthesize the points and then you club it and write your comprehension. Types of comprehension passage: narrative, descriptive, factual, argumentative, analytical, and abstract. So these are the various types here. Okay, let me describe you a little about it. Narrative passage would be giving you a narration, giving you a kind of Telling you a story is a narrative passage. Descriptive, which is not at all telling like a story, it is talking about some fact. For example, I'm reading a passage about the dining set. So it is describing the details of the dining set, wherein the table is like this is the size, this is the image, this is the color, this is the dimension. So that would be a descriptive passage. Third is the factual, expository or informative, which is based on factual data. Fourth, argumentative, wherein argument is involved in the passage where two people probably are talking about on a certain issue. Next, analytical. Analytical passage is the passage which compels the readers to analyze on something. That is, an analysis of the passage would be initiating the readers to analyze on the particular topic. Abstract, something which is wide in its dimension, something which is going to give you a wide view about any particular topic. That comes to be an abstract passage. Now, tips for improving the comprehensive skills. Carefully read and comprehend it. Do not use outside knowledge. Just keep it with you. But at that point of time, whatever you know on the subject, keep it aside for a moment and please read the passage itself properly. Always read the instructions clearly, finding the main answers, finding the main ideas basically, and supporting detail or evidence. I told you, keep on marking the important ideas. Making inferences, meanings and drawing conclusions, recognizing a text pattern of organization, and upgrade your vocab. You have to use all these tips in order to write a proper comprehension to improve your comprehensive skills. If you have a good vocab, sometimes instead of 10 words, you can use 1, and that definitely that good vocab is helping you in building up a nice compact comprehension. Practice better one's competence. So if you keep on reading, practicing, definitely you become good in that. Reading and interpreting the non-prose forms, example, graphs, tables, charts and diagrams. So when you get factual comprehension passage, you have to read and interpret them accordingly. Understanding opinions and detecting the biases. Identifying biases means if there is any kind of inclination towards any particular point of view, you have to identify. Identifying the tone, mood and style, if it is a piece of story or a poem. Rhetorical patterns to be looked for, such as comparison, contrast, cause, effect, description, narration. So, what is the pattern of writing it? What kind of things which is picked up by the author? A kind of comparison, contrast, cause and effect is being shown of something over the other, or there is a description or there is a narration. So, this is basically you have to identify the type of passage it is. And then you have to review your answers which you have collected, most important, by going back to the passage again. Levels of a comprehension passage. Level 1, literal. So what is actually there are simple and complex passages, as you say. Similarly, there are levels. If a literal passage is given, literal means whatever is stated in the passage, it means the same thing. So it includes the facts and details, rote, learning and memorization, where you do not have much analytical possibilities. You cannot analyze it much. Whatever is given, you have to simply go to get those answers. Example tests in this category are objective tests. In dealing with true, false, multiple choice questions, common questions used to elicit this type of thinking are who, what, when, where and why. Level 2, interpretive. Now level 1 was literal, whatever is stated in the passage, you get the same meaning. Interpretive is you have to get the implied meaning rather than what is actually stated there. So you have to draw inferences, you have to tap into prior knowledge and experience and then understand it and attach a new learning to the old information. So your existing learning is attached here to the New passage in the interpreter level of comprehension passage. Example, reading between the lines to determine what is meant by the author. The types of questions asked are open-ended and thought-provoking, like why, what if, and how. Level 3, applied. So, literal is whatever is stated is existing. Interpreter, you have to use your analytical skills. Now, applied, taking what was said, literal, and then what was meant by what was said, that is interpretive, and then extend the concepts or ideas beyond the situation and apply it to the third situation. So you take the meaning what they have given, you interpret it also, you complete the 2 levels, and you then go to the third level of applying that information to a particular situation. Analyzing, synthesizing, and then applying. Analyzing is literal. Synthesizing is second step after interpreting it, and third is then you apply it. In this level, we are analyzing and synthesizing the information and applying it to the third information. So example of a passage, the rules, I have given a passage there and I have given you the hints of how to answer it. So I'll read the passage quickly for you. The rules of conduct during an examination are clear. No books, calculators or papers are allowed in the test room. Proctors will not allow anyone with such item to take up the test. Anyone caught cheating will be asked to leave the test room. His or her test sheet will be taken. The incident will be reported to the proper authority, and at the end of the test period, all materials will be returned to the proctor. Failure to abide by these rules will result in a failing grade for the test. Now, this is the passage. What you got it from? What could you analyze it? What type of this passage is of what type? You should have underlined first the sentences in the paragraph, and this is stating that the main idea is this. What can be concluded from the information is, if you do not follow the rules, you will automatically fail to give the test. This is the main idea. This concluding information is found in the last sentence. So now you have to see what are the important points, what is the key sentence, what is the most important sentence, which will be the title, and also what type of passage is this. So the rules of conduct during an examination are clear. They are stating you certain rules and regulations. So I think first of all it is literal passage, level 1, wherein you have to just take the meaning as it is. Now if you take it to level 2, that is interpreter, you have to interpret that if you do not follow this, definitely you are going to harm yourselves. And then third, if you take it to level 3 of the passage, understanding, then you have to apply it to yourself so that this doesn't happen to you. You are not stopped from writing the exam. So this is how you have to use the 3 levels in writing analyzing a passage. Literal, interpreter, and applied. I applied it to myself. So some passages will not require the applied rule possibility. The applied level will not be needed. But in this passage, you have to apply it. So I hope through this example, you have understood how to write a passage, how to analyze a passage, and how to enhance your comprehensive skills using some tips here. Thank you so much.